You want to know if the new DJI Lito X1 can actually beat the DJI Mini 5 Pro? Let's take both of them to a dense forest and see which one loses me first. Same path, same forest, same light. I ran the Lito X1 drone and the DJI Mini 5 Pro through identical conditions. But these two don't play in the same league. The Mini 5 Pro is the benchmark, proven system, top tier tracking. The Lito X1 is brand new, lower priced, but packed with aggressive features, especially around tracking. So the question is simple: how close can the Lito actually get? Dense trees, constant occlusion through leaves and branches, no clean line of sight. Both drones rely on LiDAR and vision sensors. On paper, this should work, but this environment is where systems start to break. So this isn't about clean footage, it's about what happens when tracking gets unstable. Losing the subject, reacquiring, holding difficult angles like side tracking. Same path, same situation, no manual input. That's where the real difference show up. So let's break it down. So let's start simple and then make it harder step by step. Quick note, left is the DJI Lito X1, right is the DJI Mini 5 Pro, and on top you can see the live obstacle detection from each drone. First, open path. This is the kind of scenario where tracking should be easy, clear subject, predictable movement, no real obstacles. And as expected, both drones handled this without any issues. I'm just walking straight, steady pace, and both are locked on perfectly. No corrections, no visible instability. This is basically your best case scenario, so at this point there's nothing separating them. Therefore, let's make it a little harder. Now I'm moving into the forest, and even entering through this bushy natural portal is seriously difficult for a drone. And this is where things start to change. We've got trees on both sides, branches coming into the frame, constantly shifting light, and most importantly, partial occlusion. And also, I'm not always fully visible anymore. Watch the flight behavior here. The DJI Mini 5 Pro stays very controlled, just small adjustments, very direct pathing. Cool as ice. The Lito X1 in comparison is doing much more work. You can see it constantly correcting, drifting left and right, trying to maintain the lock. It's still tracking, but it's clearly less stable. And that difference becomes more obvious the deeper we go and the more obstacles it has to consider. However, both are managing it without any serious issues. I'm now reaching an area out of the tight trees, but now we're dealing with bushes, and lots of them. So this section might look easier, but it's actually not. There's branches, irregular structures, a lot of small obstacles that are harder to detect cleanly. I can tell you, this area has grown to be a drone killer. And here, both drones do surprisingly well. It is seriously amazing. No major mistakes, no big corrections, they both stay on the subject. So again, pretty even. But now watch this moment. When I cross that small creek, the Lito X1 hesitates a bit, briefly stops. I can tell you there has been no manual input from my side. So in general, not perfect, but it recovers on its own. Now we're going back into the dense forest, and this is where things get serious. Low branches, tight gaps, almost no clean line of sight anymore. I'm deliberately making this difficult, moving through tighter sections, partially disappearing behind obstacles. At this point, both are really being pushed, and for a while, that actually hold up. They're adjusting height, navigating around branches, trying to keep me in frame. But then, we hit the limit. The Lito X1 stops. So yeah, it still sees me, but it doesn't find a way forward anymore. Too close, too obstacle, subject following ended. That's the message. I tried restarting tracking multiple times. Same result. It locks on, but refuses to move. So at this point, I decided to manually fly it out of its misery. Now look at the DJI Mini 5 Pro in the same situation. It just keeps going. Still avoiding obstacles, still following, no interruption. That's a clear difference. But it's not completely one-sided. Because right after that, we get a totally different situation. I moved out towards the edge of the forest, slightly more open but still complex terrain. And here, the Lito X1 actually finds a way out immediately. It commits to a path and just keeps going. The Mini 5 Pro behaves differently. It stops advancing, it keeps me perfectly in frame the entire time, but it doesn't move forward at first. You can see it thinking, waiting, not taking the risk. Only after a moment does it find a path and continues tracking on its own. So this is not about losing the subject, it's about decision making. The Lito reacts faster and pushes through. The Mini 5 Pro is more cautious and takes longer to commit. Two different approaches, both with their own limits. Now let's take a little look at side tracking. This is a completely different challenge. The drone has to hold position next to the subject while scanning sideways for obstacles. And here the differences is very clear. The DJI Mini 5 Pro handles this without any real issues. It keeps the angle, adjusts smoothly and stays locked on. The Lito X1 struggles. It can't maintain that side position consistently and side tracking starts to break down again and again. So it moves back to backtracking. So and finally one more thing. This didn't even happen during the main test, but it's important. While side tracking, the DJI Mini 5 Pro misses branches on the side and unfortunately crashes. So even the more reliable system isn't perfect, and that's exactly why tests like this matter. Luckily, it only went down into tall grass. Apart from some light marks on the propeller blades, nothing really happens. Quick restart and it was back in the air. So in terms of durability, no real issues here. So for the last time we went back into the forest for one more section. There's a fallen tree across the path and I wanted to see what happens if I go underneath it. The Lito X1 handles this without any problems, as you can see. It simply goes over the obstacle and keeps tracking steadily. The Mini 5 Pro behaves a bit differently. It stays locked on, yes, but the flight path becomes noticeably less stable. More corrections, less confidence in the movement. After that, the path leads into a very dense bush section. I expect this to be too much. I was pretty sure at least one of those would crash here. But the opposite was happening. The Mini 5 Pro handles it slightly better, but overall both drones make it through. No contact, no collisions, just slow, careful navigation through the branches. That is honestly impressive. Well, then there's a small incline before reaching the forest edge. That forces both drones to fly very low to keep tracking. Again, this is a situation where things can go wrong quickly, so be careful. The edge of the forest is still filled with bushes and low-hanging levers. And here you can see two different approaches. The Mini 5 Pro occasionally loses direct line of sight, but continues based on prediction. It calculates where I'm going and follows accordingly. The Lito X1 tries to stay close at all times. That leads to a slightly more active, less stable flight pattern. But overall, both handles this extremely well. Given how demanding this environment was, this is a very strong result from both systems. So this time I'm not going to overanalyze it. You've seen how both behave, so it's on you to make your own judgment. So here comes my conclusion. After running both drones through this forest, I mean, this was insane. This is not a normal environment. Don't do this at home. Dense trees, branches everywhere, constant occlusion. You're basically asking these drones to fail. And honestly, it's incredible how well both handled it. The Lito X1 especially, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. For a lower priced drone with fewer sensors, this thing flew through way more confidently than it should. But this is exactly why I wanted to do this. Not just to show perfect tracking, but to see what happens when things get messy. And that's where the difference showed up. The DJI Mini 5 Pro is just more reliable. It doesn't just track well, it recovers better, reacts smarter, and stays locked on more consistently. The Lito X1 is good. Really good, but the Mini is still on another level. Not by a huge margin, but enough that you notice it. Alright, now I want to hear your take on this. After seeing both the DJI Lito X1 and the DJI Mini 5 Pro pushed like this, which one would you trust more? And be honest, would you even fly through something like this? Drop it in the comments below. I'm really curious what you think. If you enjoyed this kind of real world test, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. There's more coming. But for now, that's enough screen time. Seriously, close that gap. Close that app, grab your drone and go fly yourself instead of watching others do it. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. See you. Bye bye.